Hi, this is a quick video about how to judge an individual event such as oratory, extemp, POI, or opposing pairs. No matter what, whenever you start and you consider what you need to do as a judge, the first thing that you need to do is you need to look through the criteria. This is a good thing to do for yourself every single time before you judge, because you are going to have to, in individual events, ultimately rank all the different speakers. So as you go through and you're looking at your different criteria, you need to be thinking about what makes the speakers different from one another, what makes one speech more quality than another presentation. As you go through, as with anything, you are going to have to put notes and symbols next to each criteria to keep track of what is said. This is something that parents, adults, anybody who's in the room is going to be tracking to make sure that you do. Please understand that at the end of every round, an adult in your room is going to come around with this tab sheet. And as they go through, they are going to record your name as the judge. They're going to record your rankings of the different speakers, and then they're going to mark whether or not you are disqualified as a judge. The only way to get disqualified as a judge is to either not be paying attention, not be making notes to yourself about the things that are going on, or just generally being disrespectful or taking away from what the speakers are doing. Please know that if you get disqualified, that you will be leaving the tournament and you will no longer be allowed to participate. So as I'm looking through this oratory judging rubric, again, this is just an example, and for each of the different events, extemp, POI, opposing pairs, you need to make sure that you're looking at those criteria because they might look a little bit different than this. The first one is asking us to look for a clear, strong, and well-articulated position. The second one is asking for a wide variety of valid claims, not just claims, but valid ones that directly support the speaker's position. The third one is asking for, are the claims that are discussed, are they supported through evidence that is relevant, timely, and well cited? And we're talking about multiple pieces of different evidence, not the same evidence that's cited multiple times throughout a speech. Do they engage the audience with voice inflection, eye contact, and body language? And then you'll ultimately give a score for overall presentation. So did they use powerful language? Did it impact you emotionally? Did it appeal to logic and to heart? Did they have appropriate volume and tone of voice? Did they speak within their given time frame? And did they speak with exceptional skill in most areas? Now, as you go through and you do this, when you are actually scoring an event, your goal is going to be, again, to make notes about the different speakers. You'll notice that down here, all we've put is space for the category. This is your category. Up here, these numbers, and these numbers are reflected down here again. What I would suggest is as you go through to make your notes, I would create yourself a chart. So in this one, you can see that there are 4 speakers. Some events have 4 speakers, some have 5 speakers. Either way, up at the top in my criteria box, I would make a spot for me to be able to keep track and make notes. So I might divide this. This one has 4 speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I might title these like S1, S2, S3, and S4 so that I can just make myself notes before I ultimately come down to the bottom and give them some kind of a ranking. So as I'm going through, I may make notes like, did they build a clear, strong, and well-articulated position? Well, for that, maybe I don't use tally marks. Maybe I use a plus or a minus system. Maybe I have a check system. So maybe, okay, did they do this? Yes, I can check that, but was it really good? Yeah, I can add a plus. Did this person not do it? No, maybe there's just a minus. Maybe this person did it, but it wasn't as good as the first one. And maybe this person did it and theirs was exceptional. And so you can see that as I'm going through and making my marks, I then should be able to rank these speakers down at the bottom. No matter what, when I'm looking, I can rate each of these categories on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 in this circumstance is the best and 1 is the worst. So as I'm going through and I'm doing this, if I were going to rank these speakers, my speaker 1 would probably, I would say they were around a 4. My speaker 2 was probably somewhere around a 2. My speaker 3 was probably around a 3, and my speaker 4 was around a 5. Ultimately, by the time that I'm done, I might be tallying in here for different things. I might be looking at claims that are well cited. Again, here I could make notes. I could even put maybe a WC for something that's well cited. Maybe voice inflection, eye contact. I can make either notes, or I could talk about, I could tally every time that they did something really well. I could just say all good. I could do like a wow, anything along those lines. And then the last one, this overall presentation, really what you're looking at, again, I'm probably back to my check mark system, how this could work. So when I'm all finished and everything down here has been ranked, what I will ultimately do is I will be putting together the score for each of my contestants. Again, for each of these speakers, I'm for sure going to write their code down so that I have that. So my speaker 1 total, again, I'm just adding these together. So this is 4 plus 4, which is 8, plus 3, which is 11, plus 4, which is 15, plus 5. So like my speaker 1, their total is 20. Speaker 2, 2, 4, 6 is 12. This one is 5, 8, here 11, 15, and then down here 24. So then when I rank at the bottom, in this circumstance, number 1 is the best. And so I'm ultimately going to be ranking my different speakers. So my speaker number 4 gets the first rank. My speaker number 1 gets the second rank. My speaker number 3 gets the third rank, and my speaker number 2 gets the fourth rank. Now I'm going to show you a quick example of what this would look like live. So over on the left is an example from our debate tournament in 2016. And so what you want to look for is how I am marking as she is speaking. Again, if this was my speaker, I would have her code here. I would have this set up for speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4. She's my first speaker. Let's listen in.
Be unavoidable. Stop dancing around it all, because it's happening. Globalization is here. It didn't just appear like an apparition suddenly realized. No, it's been happening since Asia and Europe first made contact and has captured our world since. It is a beautiful movement, one that brings us all closer together every day. The possibility it opens are innumerable. Globalization is not a sudden thing. No, globalization has been steadily flourishing under our watch, and it will continue to increase the relationships of all of humanity. Globalization is an integral part of our history, and it is very adamantly a part of our future. Free trade has upended international relations, and we are now so well able to understand each other and our motives that we can work together towards peace. Free trade drives competition, making it so that any country can have access to any good provided by any company. The competition drives suppliers to reduce prices, meaning beautiful price tags for you, me, and the average Joe. Without the communication and sharing that globalization brings, countries that need resources they can't provide themselves would be at a loss. In turn, other countries benefit from giving the extra that they have and receiving other goods that they need. This develops trust and friendship between countries, and it also helps to secure peace. This is because countries depend on each other to provide a good, and so they will be less inclined to cause any strife. In the wise words of the 3-time Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Thomas L. Friedman, no two countries that both had McDonald's had fought a war against each other since each got its McDonald's.